morning, Year 7. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. For your do now, let's consider this quote. Ho ho, what a clever toad I am. There is surely no animal equal to me in cleverness in the whole world. I am the toad, the handsome, the popular, the successful toad. What do we learn about toad from this quote? As a bonus, what language or structural devices has the author used here? Pause the video to do this now. So we learn Toad is boastful. He believes himself to be superior to others. He also speaks with no sense of modesty or awareness that in reality he is probably not the most clever animal in the world, suggesting he is arrogant. Can you please add this to your answer or just add any key points that you didn't get? Could you please write the date and title? The title is The Further Adventures of Toad. And our learning objective today is to write creatively using specific language and structural devices. Okay, so today you'll be writing from Toad's perspective. Remember how he will want to come across to his friends. The rose seemed like a stray dog to be looking anxiously for company. Write about Toad waking up in the woods and looking at his surroundings. Use personification. So remember, personification is when you give human characteristics to objects or other things that are not human. Pause the video to do this now. Where might your married daughter be living? Asked the barge woman. She lives near to the river, ma'am, replied Toad. Using speech marks and correct punctuation, I'd like you to write 2 lines of dialogue to include Toad moaning about his imaginary family and the barge lady offering him a lift if he does the washing. Pause the video to do this now. He tried coaxing, he tried slapping, he tried punching. Write about how Toad struggles to do the washing. Use a tricolon, so a group of 3 words or phrases are linked, as we have at the top of the slide. Pause the video to do this now. Washerwoman indeed! I would have known, you know, that I am Toad, a very well-known, respected, distinguished Toad, Toad shouted. Well, I never! A horrid, nasty, cruelly Toad, the bargewoman cried. Using speech marks and correct punctuation, write 2 lines of dialogue to include the bargewoman finding out that Toad is not a washerwoman after all, and her throwing Toad off the barge. Pause the video to do this now. Running swiftly on, he overtook the horses, unfastened the tow rope, and jumped onto the horse's back. Write about how Toad climbs out of the water, catches up with the horse, unties it from the boat, and runs off with it. Start with an ing form of a verb. Pause the video to do this now. So just in case you're unclear, an ing is a verb in the present tense. So running, climbing, any sort of action word ending with an ing. So a verb with an ing at the end. Smells, warm, rich and varied smells, that twined and twisted, and weathered themselves at last into one complete, voluptuous, perfect smell, that seemed like the very soul of nature. Write about Toad coming across the gypsy and the smell of food coming from the cooking pot. Use a list to describe the smells. Pause the video and do this now. The rush of air in his face, the hum of the engine, and the light jump of the car beneath him intoxicated his brain. Write about Toad coming across the same red motor car as before and his excitement at being allowed to drive it by the owner. Use sensory imagery, so refer to sight, sound, smell, feel, touch. Pause the video and do this now. Toad found himself flying through the air with the strong upward rush and delicate curve of a swallow. Write about Toad crashing the car and flying through the air. Use a simile. He rose to the surface and tried to grasp the reeds and the rushes, but the stream was so strong that it tore them out of his hands. Write about the Toad trying to grab onto the bank but failing. End the story by him seeing Ratty. Use alliteration. As you remember, multiple words beginning with the same letter. Pause the video and do this now. So this is everything we should have done. Go back and read everything that you've written, making any amendments or changes to make it even better. So that is the end of our slow writing lesson. We've done it before. As you know, slow writing is when you do each little section of your writing focusing on a specific feature of the writing to make it really high quality. So hopefully it was a bit different, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to reading what you wrote. So thank you very much, and I'll speak to you next time.